We've been talking the last couple of weeks about using a brain break to jumpstart flow and increase learning. Remember, brain breaks are the second stage of flow. During the struggle stage, when our kids are focusing intently on something, stress chemicals are released. This is a good thing. It gets us moving and doing, but too much of a good thing can turn to anxiety and overwhelm. At first, your child may feel a productive edge that pushes progress forward, but as anxiety, agitation, overwhelm, or boredom take root, it's time for a brain break. During a brain break, previous thoughts and emotions are severed, and in that process of letting go, the brain can move from a linear thought pattern to more holistic thinking. This stage is necessary to launch us into flow, and it readies the brain chemistry of the brain for flow. When we're intently focused, it's often a solitary experience. Focusing outwardly can bring a much needed relief. Today I'm responding to a call for more brain break examples. So let's focus on a wide array of categories that may help your children find the brain break that will set them on a path towards flow. You'll think of lots of ideas that your child might explore, but keep in mind that filling the senses is a great way to shift thought patterns. And you'll see how many of these can be individualized and combined based on your child's preference. Remember, holistic, free flow of thought is the goal, rather than the narrow, linear thinking of the struggle stage. So choose activities accordingly. We want a brain break to quiet brain activity, activating the unconscious, rather than placing demands for more thinking. Jumping on screens or even having a deep discussion with another person do not shift us into the brain chemistry needed for flow. Save those activities for another time and try some of the activities below for breaks during deep, focused learning. These categories are in no particular order. Animals and pets. Sitting quietly with a pet, or speaking quietly or petting a calm animal, or watching fish swim in a tank. Musical. Listening to your favorite music, especially Mozart or Bach. Playing or singing familiar music. Cultural. Viewing a work of art. Reading or listening to poetry or a speech without analytical thinking involved. Sitting quietly in a beautiful architectural space. Water features. Taking a shower, a hot tub, floating in a swimming pool. Restroom. Shaving, makeup, or grooming of some type, or even other repetitive routines. Athletic. Walking, jogging, biking for at least 15 minutes, using repetitive movements. Focus intently on a tennis ball or basketball, or focus on players on the court without any analytical thought. Focus on the strings of your racket between points, or participate in a repetitive athletic practice alone. Repetitive movement. Needlepoint, knitting, embroidering if you have mastery, beating a drum, or conscious breathing. You might even combine repetitive movement with athletics to focus on footfalls when running. Nature. Sitting quietly in a garden, gazing out to sea, fishing, or strolling through a forest. Housework or yard work. Dishes, cooking, folding laundry, or gardening. Surrender. Relinquishing control over a personal or work problem, or imagining and accepting a worst-case scenario and relaxing into it. Restaurant. Eating quietly alone or in the company of one other person that you feel very comfortable with. Altruistic. Get involved in helping others. Focus out of yourself towards the needs of others. Spiritual. meditation, contemplation, prayer, yoga, tai chi, qigong, positive repetition of meaningful words or phrases. Brainstorming, sharing ideas about a common problem, free association with a group of others. Help your children realize when they need a brain break. What does it feel like in their body when the stress ramps up beyond a manageable level? Do they get antsy? Do they feel like crying or screaming? Do they feel anger or extreme frustration? Do they start to sweat or wiggle? Do they get a stomach ache or a headache? Help them to feel the physical sensation and then respond with a brain break. Select a few to try and put a list in the work area. It's often difficult to make choices when we're feeling up against it. Make it easy to take a 5 to 15-minute brain break. And once the brain break's over, encourage your child to lean right back into deep focus with renewed vigor. That's where flow's waiting. Happy bold schooling.